Yes, Raju Rishi from Sigma Prime. This is my second time on stage, so I feel like I'm a regular. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'll tell you a little bit about Sigma Prime, and then I'll give you a couple of nuggets of wisdom that I've picked up over the couple of years, or at least nuggets. I don't know if they're wisdom or not, but okay. So quick and dirty on myself. 2 degrees from MIT. Went down to Bell Labs for 5 years in a pure tech capacity, and then 5 years in management. And then I started my startup stint. I did 3 startups. Two were VC backed, and one was focused in a lifestyle capacity. And I always get asked questions. So, why do you choose to start a company that's VC backed versus lifestyle oriented? And I think it's an important, distinction. I think you really got to think about it as your business model sort of evolves. Every company's not VC backable, and I knew early on in the one that I had started that was lifestyle oriented that this wasn't really going to have the trajectory, nor did it require the capitalization that's required for some of the VC backed companies. So, sort of three categories. You can bootstrap a company, you can get a small amount of seed or angel financing, or you can get VC financing. And I think you got to evaluate that fairly carefully. So we did that, and so two of the VC-backed companies that I started were both backed by Sigma partners, Sigma Prime now, and they like to punish their founders tremendously, and they offered me a role at their firm. So I am here now at Sigma Prime, and a little bit about Sigma. So we are built entirely of operators. There's four investing partners, actually five, four up in Boston, myself here in New York, and we're entirely operators. I think there's amongst all five of us 10 companies that have been founded from us, and we've had a lot of positive outcomes as a result of those. So a lot of experience from that standpoint. We like to invest in tech. We stay away from FDA approval or semiconductors, things with a binary outcome. Just a lot of capitalization needs to go into those funds, and our fund size is about 150 million. So we're not looking to put a large chunk of money to work with a potential zero outcome. But we do take risk. We're early stage investors. Another aspect of our fund, we are investing predominantly on the East Coast, but our charter is anything in North America, including Canada and Mexico. I do a lot of diligence on deals here in New York. I spend time in DC. My other four partners spend time in Boston. I don't have an office here, and people ask me, can I find you in an office? I actually don't want one. I think that's one thing that differentiates us. I like to visit the Gemba. I like to go to the customer. I like to see what your startup feels like. I went to one company and I asked, early on, I met this company, and the founder said to me, I've got four products. And one of my favorite sayings is that more startups will die because of indigestion than they will because of starvation. They just overstretched. They bit off too much. Four products is way too much for an early stage company to take on. So I said, come back to me and let's talk when we have one product. So I met him about a year later. I said, how many products do you have? And he said, one. And I was at his office and I turned to his CTO and I said, how many products do you have? And he said, two. And I said, that's not going to work. So it's one of the value propositions of going to the customer. You get to see the vibe, see the personality of the people, see the energy level, frankly, of the environment. We have, as we like tech, as I mentioned, I have a particular bias. I like mobile. I like SaaS. I like B2B. I like enterprise software. There's one space that I'm particularly hot on, and it's just a personal thing. I think that retail is going to get innovated with mobility very, very soon, if it's not already starting. I think, as we heard, 90% of shopping happens inside of a store, inside of a retail establishment. Every single person is carrying this smart device, this very, you know, interesting, technical computer with high horsepower, yet there's no interaction, very little interaction between the store and that user. And I think that's all going to change. I'm going to find products by opening this thing up, and it's going to tell me to turn left, turn right. I'm going to have a lot of engagement in terms of that. We like we have five theses upon which we invest. It's team first, then we focus on sort of the market appetite and opportunity, the product and its fit. Then we focus in on the competition, and finally it's the business plan. And it's in that order exactly. The team is the most important to us because if you can't navigate a market opportunity, you may pivot 5%, 10%, hopefully not in 180 degrees, but you're going to pivot. And if you have to, if the market's too small, it's hard to pivot. You have to have. So I think I heard the buzzer, so I'm going to wrap it up there. I'm free. Get in touch with me very easily. It's Raju at sigmaprime.com. Love to talk to as many guys as possible who are starting great companies.
Great. Thank you.